joining me now. Hey, Bob inside. Yeah. What is that? Ebuka? Okay, look at what we do. Don't worry, just put YouTube. Yes, we are good to go. You know? Oh, we end up Madamaro. Wow. Now, if you're joining me and you're seeing this video right from, you're following me on Facebook, you're following on YouTube, and you're following on TikTok, today's program we're going to be doing one or two. But before then, I want us to welcome ourselves with these are wonderful songs. I was featured on them on this whole of the thing because Egu our national anthem on what is it called? Our national anthem on Igbo unity. Igwe Bike, Igwe Bike, Igwe Bike, Igwe Bike. The music we on a menaro. Akuru no, Igbo no. Time. Ndina subia, ndina suno, uwanine natabano, ejojanimbo. You feel am? Ndina subia, ndina suno, uwanine natabano. Come on. Igbo ni bayasa, Igbo amaka, Igbo. Yes, before we continue because of time, in case this is your first time of following me, if you are on YouTube, you're on TikTok, power tap on TikTok, share the program. I want people to come on board. If you're on Facebook, help me share the program, connect to different groups. I want our larger family to be involved in what I'll be doing this morning. If you are following me right on the YouTube, please share the program. I want to have people engage on these 3 different platforms, and we are working to see how we're going to be bringing our family right on the Twitter space. Anytime we are sharing any program, everybody will be involved. Now, this morning, in case you don't know me, rather, let's say this is your first time of meeting me. I am here to tell you something you need to know about me. My name first is Oyenwemadu Kainebi, and I am known on this page of social media as Igbo Ezuetv. But my name is Oyenwemadu Kainebi. And who is Oyenwemadu Kainebi? Oyenwemadu Kainebi happened to be the 14th child of Philip Osekute Oshishi of Akumazi Umuocha in Isube quarter, Ogbe Isube. That is where I am from. And secondly, who is Oyenwemadu Kainebi? Oyenwemadu Kainebi is one of the foremost preacher of Igbo unity. Where is Oyenwemadu Kainebi from? Oyenwemadu Kainebi is from Akumazi Umuocha, Onyibo Kambo. And there is something I still want to let you know in case you want to know me well. Oyenwemadu Kainebi, I'm a businessman. I based in Anambra. Firstly, I lived in Lagos before relocating down to the east. While I was in Lagos, I was having it so bad until I relocated to Anambra. Then I met with reality and things began to change in my life. Today, I'm one of the foremost preachers of Igbo unity. Secondly, I am one of the foremost pusher of Anioma state creation. Today, I'm known as Igbo Ezuetv. Initially, I started with Eka na Igbo. Then, I started with Eva Kinsley Kainebi to Eka na Igbo to Igbo Ezuetv. This was the name that I am known with on the space of social media. But Igbo Ezuetv has taken over for now because majority of the people that know me today know me with the name Igbo Ezuetv. Now, today we're going to be discussing majorly on Anioma. We're going to be discussing majorly on our Igbo unity. First, let me begin to tell our people, those people who doesn't know how the journey began. Majority of you who believe that we are just wasting our time on the space of social media, please, those on Facebook, help me to share the program. If you're hearing me, I want you to tap and say you are hearing me. If you're with me, I want you to type and say you are with me. Now, when we started this journey, a lot of people call us name. They call us so many things. They say this one, who born this one, waiting this one, no. What do you think you are doing? But the truth is that we were not perturbed. The reason why I started calling for Igbo unity is that I see no reason where somebody like me, I bear Igbo name, my community bear Igbo name, the tradition, the values, and the cultures about me talks about Igbo identity, and somebody from nowhere is telling me that I'm not an Igbo man. We started by educating our people the need to come together as one big family, the need to realign with our larger family on this issue of Igbo unity. While we are on the course of united in Igbo, a call came in to me from Abuja that the administration of President Tinubu has opened up constitutional review, which will give birth to new constitution, amendment of the old one, and creating new. And that was what prompted us, the National Cultural Organization, to take a lead to Abuja with 2 documents. We submitted for state creation and Anioma state creation. Secondly, we submitted for boundary adjustment. Now, on the long run, people fail to understand the level of job we have done to actually put our house in order. Somebody said Igbos are, land grabbers. Igbos are opportunists and others. I laugh at them because these statements are being made out of envy. These statements are being made out of jealousy. These statements are being made out of witchcraft, because majority of the people who made that statement are surviving today because Igbos are within their locality because Igbos are around them. Now, permit me to tell you, whether you like it or not, no Yoruba man can buy a land in Ondo State at the rate of 40 or 50 or 20 million. But Igbo man can do that. We are not doing it because we have the money. We place value in everything that comes in our hand. Now, we started calling for Igbo unity. People began to say that Ndi Anambra want to harness a land. Ndi Anambra want to take over, what is it called, what does not belong to them. I asked the person, me will be Igbo from Delta State. How did I become a land grabber? Because among the people you see on the space of internet who are clamoring for Igbo unity, none of them is coming from Anambra. None of them is an Imo State indigene. Every one of them you see today are indigene of where? In case you don't know, all these people you see are indigenes of what Igbos in Delta and Igbos in River State. For example, if you go to River State, there is a group that is powering, calling for all the Igbo families in River State to come together. And these are no other people from Igbos in Emoha, Ekpeye, Opobo, and so on and so forth. These are indigenous Igbos in River State. They are the one calling the 5 Easterners, brother, we have now realized that we are one. It is time to reunite ourselves. You go to Delta State, it is those Igbos in Delta State, inclusively Mamuma. This is the time we need to reunite ourselves as one big family. So if you look at this movement, this crusade of Igbo unity, there is no Anambra man there, there is no Imo State man there, there is no Abia State man there, there is no Enugu man there is no Ebonyi State man. Who are the people championing the Igbo unity? These are people that the identity crisis affected so well. Igbos in Delta, Igbos in Rivers. These are people that are clamoring for change. We need a change. For a very long time, we have lived with wrong narrative of us. We have lived with a wrong agenda of us. We have lived lesser than what we are. When we get to this generation, we actually scrutinize everything that had to do with us. We decided to fight and make sure we unite the whole of the Igbo nation. So those coming from Benin, those coming from Yoruba that are calling some Easterners land grabbers, you should desist from that because they are not spearheading the cause for Igbo unity. Those who are spearheading the cause for Igbo unity are those who are affected by the unity, by the so-called identity crisis. The people that are spearheading the call for Igbo unity are the people that are affected directly with the identity crisis. Like me, I was born, raised in a traditional home. I was born, raised, given a name that has link with an Igbo nation. And somebody is coming from somewhere to tell me that I'm not an Igbo person. I find it difficult to comprehend. I find it difficult to understand because when I look at what people are saying about us, I have made a series of investigation to see if the statement of these enemies of Igbo will be justified. And I will tell you that I've walked around, I've looked around, those statements are not in any way justified. Those statements are not in any way what? Justified. Those statements, what is it called? Who share this traditional and cultural value. And you are telling me that these people are not the same. Now, for example, the community where name mean Ako, A-U-M-A-Z-I, Omu, Ocha. Now the word means words. Mazi means mister. Omu means children. Ocha means something that is purity. Akumazi Umocha, and this same word mean everything in all the Igbo speaking communities. Our neighboring community that is called Umuede. If you go to Abia, you see Umuede. Forget the word Umunede. It is a corrupt word from Umuede. Umu in Igbo language simply means children. Umu, U-M-O-U means children. So the people who are laying claim of us should tell us how did they come about the name Umu when their language is not in any way in connection with the word Umu. We stand up today, we begin to call for Igbo unity. A lot of people began to fight the cause. Why are they fighting? Why are we now fighting the cause of Igbo unity? Majority of us said Igbo want to take what belongs to you. How can Igbo take what belongs to Igbo? I've said it down without number. Those who are land grabbers are nothing but the dudes, the Bini people. It is the Bini people who want to grab our land because they want a kind of how will I put it? They want a kind of they want a population. They call for Igbo unity that we are into. Well, last 3 years before we begin to talk about Igbo unity, and today, last 5 years before we begin to call Igbo to unite them, it wasn't the way it is. And I still want to use the opportunity to greet the likes of Evangelist Ebukobi, the 001 of Zion Ministry. The man has worked. The man has worked to actually effect change in the orientation of our people. That when you meet them, you say, what is your name? My name is Chinedu. Where are you from? I'm from Kwale. Are you Igbo? I don't be Igbo. What is your name? My name is, don't need an interpreter. And the person will not even need an interpreter. Tell him or her the meaning of Chima, Chukuma, Nkechi, Isioma, Eluemuno. Now, when you look at this thing, you see that we begin to feel less of us whenever we find ourselves in a situation of rejecting who we are, denying ourselves the right identity that would have sell whatsoever we have as a people to the glory of Almighty. Today, a whole lot of people are crying, Igbos want to... No! It is never in any history documentation that in the Igbo they were conquered any community or any clan or any village. It is not written, but it is there. How Benin and Oba Benin and his army, his messenger, and begin to lay claim of those communities. Majority of the community that live close to Benin, even the ones inside Benin, was a product of conquer, was a product of oppression, was a product of conquer. Go and read the antecedent, go and read the story behind the establishment of Oba and so on and so forth. You agree with me that a whole lot of things happen. Today, they never believe in their own widest imagination that there will be a time kids of this generation will rise to begin to rewrite the wrong narrative about us, to begin to rewrite the wrong history that they have put in place to impoverish or to keep us in a place where we ought not to be. Where we ought to be. Are you getting me? Somebody said from YouTube, stop doing drug. Don't do drugs. Stop doing drugs. Okay, I don't know if... Okay, somebody is writing. Now, you see, these are things that we need to know. For example, let me tell you something you are going to be taking home. If you are among those who still argue whether Ika, Okwane, whether Anyocha, in short, the whole of Delta North, and those who, the Igbo speaking, those who find themselves in Edo, whether they are Igbo, you are going to look at some of the critical points I'm going to be bringing out to you rather this afternoon, depending where you're joining me. But you're going to be doing me a favor, share the program as you join me. Share the program as you join me. Now, number one, how will you know a people? Number one, we're going to be looking at those things we inherit, those things we inherit from our forefathers. Now, one of the things that we inherit from our forebearers is our religion, our way of worship. Before we started inheriting airplane, before we started inheriting cars, before we started inheriting so many things, companies and so on and so forth, one of the things that we inherited from our forebearers is our religion, our way of worship, those things that we are known with. Number one, if you are indigenous Igbos within the Delta North, within the Edo State, there is things you are known with. If you are indigenous Benin person, there are things you are known with. If you go to Benin today, there is what we call inherited deities from their forebearers. You see something like Oromia, you see something like Eshu, you see something like a Sango and whatsoever and so on. Now when you come to Ikalan, you see something like Ikenga, you see something like Ihuana, you see something like what is it called? Ekwensu Akumazi, Ihunze, and so forth and so on. Now when you now begin to look at what we are known with, our traditional values, our religious value system, you will discover that these things are not in any way connected to what Benin hold as their rich culture and tradition. We share not the same values in all of this. That is number one thing that will tell you that we are not in any way related to them. Now, how will you know that we are not related to Benin people? Now, in their system of monarchy, in their system of of kinship, whatever structure, Oba Benin don't take wife from a far distance. He only take wife among his lineage. Why? Because they felt that they have a royal blood, they don't need to bring a strange blood into that royal blood. Are you getting me? That is what is making them to do what? To marry within them. They believe is a system, is a value for them. But when you come to Ikalan, our kings, when you come to Igbo land, our kings doesn't take wife among their blood lineage. We see it as a taboo. We see it as an insult. So when you look at these two narratives I gave you now, you will understand that these are different people all entirely. These are different people all entirely. You're going to do me a favor, please. If you're following me on YouTube, please, this is my first time of running live video on YouTube. Help me place your hand on the share button, share the program, and get people join us. If you're on Facebook, help me share the program and see. Let's see how many people that can join us. Those that are on TikTok, please double tap, double tap, double tap, double tap, double tap, and let's get this conversation going. So whether you like it or you don't like it, there are values that you need to take into cognizance to know whether you are related to these people or you are not related to these people. And I tell you that you need to understand that Benins and the Ikas and Igbos are two different entities. Now when you come to Ikalan, one of the things, error we have committed against ourselves is trying to divide, to take ourselves out of ourselves. One of the worst error Ika has committed to themselves, Delta North has committed to themselves, Ikwere has committed to themselves, Ekpeye has committed to themselves, is separating themselves from themselves. How did I mean? It doesn't really matter how you want to justify your action. Denying your link is a way of limiting your reach. Get me again. Denying your link is a way of denying yourself your reach. I will explain it for you guys to understand. I will explain it for you to understand. Denying your link is a way of what? Limiting your reach. For example, If you come to Ikaland, we have young guys, we have young ladies who, by the way of trying to send Haboron Igbo, have denied themselves a greater opportunity to go into collaboration with their larger brother, which would have made them more popular or richer somehow. But because they don't want to have that link, what does that do? What does that do? It creates a kind of limitation, bringing them to a place of stagnant. This is what identity crisis does to people. This is what identity crisis does to people. If you come to Ikaland today, as I speak to you, there are a lot of talent, even in the stand-up comedy, even in the music industry, those that would have excelled beyond that Ika, but they have played a kind of on them. Their product is only remain a product of Ika product. They fail to stand up to mix up with their larger family. That reduce them to only Ika product. And you becoming only Ika product or Ukwa the product or anyone the product limit your reach. Whether you like it or not, all the stand-up comedians in the southeast becomes a product of all Igbo communities, both the Kwale, both the Ika, both the Enuani. All of them listen and partake on their exploits. But the ones that are coming from Ika are finding it difficult to rise up to have what is called collaboration brotherly with their larger family. That would have served them well. But because of identity crisis, they began to do Ika thing, Okwane thing, Enuane thing, instead of doing a larger Igbo family thing that would have greater excelled them. That would have Are you getting me? So it becomes a problem. It becomes a problem. Now, one of the things I actually find out again is that on the course of trying to get one or two things correct, I discover one thing, that if you slide into Wikipedia today, you go into every of the search engine today, both the, what is it called? Google and so on and so forth. You will find a whole lot of content, product online. But when you look at them, most of them has been addicted. And when you look at the people, the name of the visitor, the person that addicted those information and falsify them, you discover that these are people coming bearing Benin name. If you feel and you think that the history you are selling to the public is correct, why running up and down to pull down an existing information, to rewrite the information to suit your narrative? Why not leave it the way it is? And that is why I tell people, if actually you want to talk story, you want to talk history, don't base your history on what you read on Google. Base your history on what is obtainable. Base your history on what is what? Obtainable physically. I have visited most of the communities within the Southeast. I have visited most of the communities that speak and bear Igbo name within the Edo State. And I can categorically tell you that we are one. But it's just that politics has made us to be different. Even in Delta North, where I'm from, Ukwane is pushing an ethnic nationality of its own. Ukwane is how many local government? How many are there in number to face the kind of trouble that is facing the country democratically as it is today in Nigeria? If you come to Ikaland, Ika is trying to push a narrative saying that Ika is Ika. They want to become an ethnic nationality of their own. How many local government did Ika have? What is their population? To equate or to stand the level or the kind of politics that is being played as far as Nigerian space is concerned. Same thing go to Aniota, Enuani. Now these are three brothers or relatives who are yet to accept they are one. So when you see people saying that they are Okwane, you see people saying that they are Ika, but they are not Igbo. Ask them, are you related to Okwane? Ask the Ika guy, are you related to Okwane? Ask the Okwane, are you related to Ika? Ask the Ika man, are you related to Anyoche Enuane? Ask the Enuane, are you related to Okwane? Their answer will amaze you. You see that these are people that have been washed with propaganda. These are people that have been misled with propaganda. A brother will begin to see his brother and begin to say that we are not related because of politics. And even the politics they are trying to play is not in any way going to give them a kind of that position which they want or they wish to occupy. Or the one possible. Or the only possible. Because the level of politics we are playing in Nigeria today demand the politics of what? Numerical. We need a number to be able to withstand what we are seeing as far as Nigeria's structure, political structure is concerned. So the division you see among us is all about politics. But who is paying dearly for this division? Because we have allowed these enemies of ours to place a division among us. We have allowed these enemies of ours to place a division among us. When Gowon said he's going to create a core state, he has a reason of saying that. When Buhari came and said and uttered the word and said that these are dots, that Southeast are dots, he has a reason of saying that because to him they have succeeded dividing in people to remain minute as far as Nigerian space is concerned. Notwithstanding that Igbos happen to be the larger ethnic group as far as Nigeria is concerned. The North that we see today are united in one cause, governance. They are united in one cause, political. They are united in one cause because they want to get hold of Central at all costs. But we that claim that we are wise, most especially those coming from Ika, those coming from Ukwale, those coming from Enuane, that claim that they are yet to understand the kind of politicking that is being taking place as far as Nigerian space is concerned. They are yet to understand why that seed of discord was introduced among this larger family. They are yet to understand why there is this strategy of divide and rule game among us. They are yet to discover, to know why our enemies keep pushing propaganda to make sure that we remain divided. Ask yourself a question. Of what gain will Yoruba man gain? Will Benin man gain if he is united? What will be his gain? Ask yourself a question. Why is it that each time they hear the word Igbo unity, they began to cry? They began to frame so many things. But yet, before we started talking about Igbo unity, these are same people who were going up and down everywhere saying that Igbos are not united. Is it the first time you heard the language? These are people who were going up and down, making all sorts of heinous statements that Igbos are not united. Igbos are not united. But today, when they heard that Igbos are coming together as one big family, they became restless. When they heard that Igbos are uniting their family, they became restless. Ask yourself a question. Why are they restless? They laugh at us that Igbos are not united, that Igbos doesn't love themselves. Now we are showing the love. Now we are embracing ourselves in unity. They are crying. They are restless. They are creating different accounts in all the social media handles. They have sleepless night on Twitter only to discuss Igbo unity, only to bring more division among us. They keep all day on the TikTok space. What are they discussing? Why will Igbo people discuss? Because of Igbo unity, they began to run a program which they call South Saver movement. They began to run a program which is called what is it called? Benin Kingdom, Benin Empire, Unity of Benin Kingdom, Unity of Benin Empire. It is all because they had Igbos are making steps, taking move to reunite themselves again. They don't want that to happen. Ask yourself a question. Why are they running up and down in all of this social media space? Every of their topic is how to bring Igbo family down. I ask a question. What will the Yoruba man gain? What will the Yoruba man lose? What will Benin man lose if Igbo man are united? If Igbo families are united?